Gay Lantern blackmailed? Well, apparently. So here we are at Cosmic Book News, who has this story about DC Comics gay Green Lantern Alan Scott. That would be the original Green Lantern from the 40s and all that. Blackmailed into joining the JSA. So, didn't join the Justice Society to fight Hitler and the Nazis and all that stuff. No, he apparently gets blackmailed into doing it. So, there's been a bit of a reboot for the Justice Society, led by Jeff Johns, and of course, new Justice Society comic book series, and miniseries with Stargirl, and all that, where they detailed some time travel shenanigans had taken place, and some old characters and their sidekicks were lost to time, and now they're back. And the original Huntress is back, but she's a person out of time. It's one of these stupid things that they're going to have to fix later, because you can't just leave it like that. And then made up other characters who never existed, but they're going to do it anyway. In the case of Green Lantern, there's a new villain, Red Lantern, that he sparred with in his early days. And of course, in the Hal Jordan Green Lantern Corps and all that, they've already invented a whole Red Lantern Corps and all that sort of stuff. But in his version of it, there was this guy, and they'll get to it as his story unfolds, should it sell enough, which I suspect it won't, to get completed. But, well, that's just that part of it. So, spinning out of it, Alan Scott, The Green Lantern, by Tim Sheridan, and is that Cyan Torme, I guess? So the story shows that J. Edgar Hoover, the FBI director, the original one, blackmails Alan Scott into joining the JSA through the use of photos that show the Green Lantern to be gay. So there he is. And these, I'll give you a hint. Its initials are J, S, and A. Did you really call me back to D.C. to talk about your super squad? The Justice Society of America, of which you're a member, no? I agreed to let you put my name on the masthead, yes, but as your questionably obtained photos show, I work better alone. Is that a fact? Whoops. As you can see, I'm a real believer in photographic evidence. I told you, I get what I want. Oh, also, we're having a little get-together in Forest Hills this weekend. You'll come. Clyde will give you the details on your way out. And Alan, bring the combat boats. If they still fit. Oh, gee. This is just awful. So he didn't want to join the JSA. He was forced to do it. And here apparently had some sexual relationship, forced into a sexual relationship with J. Edgar Hoover and his boyfriend. Apparently he preferred seeing him in combat boots. I guess he wasn't a fan of the outfit. I don't know. But anyway, so the JSA was a propaganda machine for the American war effort. Yeah, you can see how that works. That's kind of how they handled Captain America and all that, especially in the movie and that sort of thing. And you can see that. But this... this is pretty stupid. So there's the cover. And Alan's the synopsis. Alan Scott's early days as Green Lantern are seen in a new light. Yeah. The Green Lantern is the most powerful member of the JSA, which he apparently was forced to be a part of. And why would he stay with it? But anyway, beloved by all of America, but his personal life is a well-kept secret. This is a story about love, about fear, and most of all, about courage to stand up to that fear. Well, apparently he didn't. I mean, he fought Solomon Grundy, but he didn't stand up to anyone finding out he's gay. So Alan Scott's past is the key to his future when the Red Lantern appears, ready to strike down the mighty Green Lantern. So I don't know if we'll find out that he and Red Lantern used to be lovers, and they broke up, and that's the whole origin of their battle or whatever. This is all very stupid. Of course, originally, he was not gay. I mean, this is one of these things where, decades upon decades of story, and now all of a sudden magically is gay. He had a son that they swapped into being gay, albeit a relatively new character, so I suppose there's some amount of wiggle room there to say that was the case. But for quite a while, his son Obsidian was gay. And then the New 52 came along, and they decided to create a whole brand new Earth 2 and all contemporary younger versions of the Justice Society characters. So they never fought in World War II or any of that, and they were all in their late 20s and early 30s type range there. And it looked like at the last minute they decided, okay, Alan Scott's gay. So they did. There he was, and but he was a very different version of the original. And so there they went, and that series went along its way, kind of petered out, especially after Darkseid showed up and destroyed the Earth. They had to relocate to another planet. It becomes more of a sci-fi story than superheroes. I don't know why they would bother with superheroing after that. I mean, Dick Grayson becomes the new Batman, and it fizzled. It fizzled out because it really had no direction beyond that. Other than, hey, look, they're all young now, and that sort of thing. But, okay, so alternate universe, alternate timelines, what have you, fine. But, well, that's not good enough. We got to have our token, so he's gay now. Okay. Well, not really, but they do that, and then now, hey, we got to use this thing about J. Edgar Hoover. And all that stuff. It's stupid. New characters and whatnot. And, of course, they did have characters that were always gay. But just not good enough. Need an established brand name. How long before Hal Jordan? But anyway, that's the stupidity of it. And I had some interest in them trying to revive the Golden Age characters, but they don't seem to have much interest in it on their own. They just do this token story, which will be all about that, and that's it. This has been going on for quite a while. Marvel did it with Iceman. And initially, when it was just the alternate young Iceman from an alternate timeline, you could say, but then they decided, no, it wasn't alternate. That's really him, and he was just in the closet all the time, despite his younger self being out and going. It made no sense at all, and it was obviously a slap job, shoehorn thing. Wasn't good enough to have an alternate version of Iceman. No. It had to be the real one, despite decades detailing the opposite, and especially since in comic books you can see their thoughts in word balloons. So it just doesn't work. The only one I keep going back to is what they did with John Kent Superboy, because he's still a relatively new character, so theoretically you could force that in, and it is forced in. It was shoehorned in. But it's the added disturbing nature of it in that they prematurely aged him and that kind of thing, So, but it's just tokenism and whatnot. It's all it is, and that's that. Could have gone in strong on characters that they have. Certainly, Midnighter and Apollo. Midnighter's the more cooler. Granted, they're knockoffs of Batman and Superman, but still could work on that. But then again, those characters work better as a part of Wildstorm. Since they've become a part of DC, nobody seems to know how to handle them and that sort of thing. But that's just the storytelling and structural aspects of it. I have no interest in them being turned straight. that kind of thing. But this comes along, and any objection to it, of course, can only be rooted in homophobia. So, and that's all it's for. Story-wise and whatnot, I mean, it's just like, hey, J. Edgar Hoover was nasty. I don't know. How many people did he blackmail into sex parties with? But anyway, there you go. Oh, boy, the future of DC looks bright, does it? Well, and again, it's like the JSA restart or what have you. It's several issues in, and it still hasn't really started. So there's that problem too. But I don't see this going anywhere. Certainly not positive. It's just more of the same. And the idea that, well, I don't want people to think I'm a homophobe, so I'm going to collect this. That's not going to work. And it's just, again, like I said, the alternate Earth 2 one, well, it is an alternate timeline. Okay, he's gay. But not good enough. Got to have the original. No explanation, it just happens that way. But again, well, there's superpowers and all that stuff. Well, okay, then what happened? Did Red Lantern do something? It was like the joke about the Superboy guy with his boyfriend has pink hair, so it's pink kryptonite in his hair dye. Turned gay. But, at least it would explain it, But anyway, so there you go. It's just one of those things where they're more concerned about tokenism and whatnot, rather than a strong narrative for their overall brand of the JSA characters. So, shouldn't be too surprised.